And thank you very much, Christine, because one of the things we did talk about within the whole NIMiMS context was the whole kind of pedagogic issues that arise. And so, more pedagogy.
Thank you and welcome to my class right now. So I'm the education coordinator in Helsinki Public Science Conservatory right now. Used to be a teacher for a long time, 15 years, and still do some teaching there. And I used to be also postman when I was young. You can laugh if you want. Yeah. So now we are going to the quantity-based period curriculum, like a creative process. To using creativity in the creation of new pedagogical systems, and that's my point. And let's first see what happened before we did this big change in our school. So pedagogical tradition, we had a year schedule, and I think it was borrowed from the music as hobby kind of systems. And we were missing how to, as a schools, like in the professional field, as a musician, so there was a big difference between that. Usually we have an intensive period of practicing a set list and then we go make a mix. Yeah? Like in professional life usually. And 1 year schedule, they go too far. Students can't even remember where are they aiming for. And also, it was unchallenging a little bit because they went so slowly forward, one session per week. I have too much of information, but sorry for that. And study plan used to be domination of obligatory courses, no so much selection. And then we had almost 15 to 20 courses running a whole year through. I think that's quite challenging for the student to give 20 tracks going on at the same time over a year. No personal study plan because the obligatory thing was there. And also if someone had passed his courses in high school, whatever, usually they said, that's not valid, come to my classes. And then something changed a few years ago, and really it changed 1.5 years ago, and let's go down with that. In the work community, there were some voices, let's change the whole system. As teachers, we are bored of the old system. We have had some kind of little tests over the years, over the decades to change the system, but without evaluation, there was very like some good ideas also. They just disappeared. Someone's testing something and then it's disappeared. And then we had one bigger succeeded. It was a workshop. We had 4 teachers, 4 study groups, and they shifted teacher every 7 weeks. And somehow it worked for students so well. So they saw the goal. They can remember what they are doing for. And then they shift for another teacher. And then me and my colleague, Eerola, we began to discuss, like utopia, dreaming, what would be the best possible music institute in the world. And we got some resources to do that, just dream. And we began to dream, and we found that, oh no, we are really dropped out the system because we had to really begin to research what the other schools are doing. So at this case, the revolution was formed or born in the middle of the organization. Teachers. The first step was benchmark to verify other conservatories in Finland. And we make a big 2-hour phone benchmarking to 6 conservatories, and we got some results. 5 from 6, they had periodic system. There was a shared tutoring kind of system, not that kind of anymore. That's my student, or that's your student, take him. So they shared the responsibility to get the goal with students. And the teachers, they had really broad kind of view in the smaller organization. They were science teachers, theory teachers, blah, 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 so many areas. So they had a big know-how. And they shared the students. They really saw what's happening down there. And me and Raila, we got our result. There's a little skepticism of what we are really doing. Because we have our reputation, which is good, the first conservatory in Finland who teach popular music, but our practices will drop out from that system. And let's do something. So we decided to copy the best features and keep our own success down here. Next step, we try to make a first system by copying other schools. We just get faults. After that, we just put our courses in the new curriculum, but it was a big fault because it came arise from a teacher's interest, not students' interests. And we try to tie together like a big demonstration of professional skills, but the law say that no, they have right to study module by module. Yeah, and also the courses and the demonstration of professional skills we try to put together, and that was against law. So we tried to make a new system which was against law. Good. So we didn't know the basis, and our pedagogical management tackled, stopped that system. So we must begin some kind of self-evaluation and thinking. Yeah. And next step, that was a big changing point to our system. Our rector, our manager of our school, and the board, they updated our values, and there's some Finnish inside, forget that, but there's some kind of advice where to go. So our bigger, we had values which were raised from our methods, yes, and then our values were updated. And we got student-oriented approach, as Christian said, creativity, mental growth, and communality. Yeah, it was a big 4 grades down there, 4 terms. And then we began to rethink. Now we have values, student approach, personalization. Yeah, we make a benchmark visit to the Validia school, which is all invalids, and they have their personal helper, almost everyone there. And they had their own special education program, every student their own. And we were really impressed how deep personalization could go. And it would be really weird if we have only 120 students, and we can't make even their own personal study plan. So we looked in the mirror and found something really important. And my dear boss, Tapio Kallio, he developed a checklist-based curriculum, and we have one kind of how you can go, how you can really select. Tapio began to discuss on what really personalization means. And this beautiful blanket is Tapio's way to... here is a student at home sofa, maybe playing guitar. He or she has 6 different ways to begin the study. Internet desktop meeting band practice from a forest. Good. Let's begin here. Life one here, big career, you must be jogging or do something, you can stay healthy for your career. And then these are the different directions how the personalization go. So Tapio's idea was to free the common paths, how to go further and how to continue the studies. Of course, we have some obligatory modules the government has stated to us, but then we have a lot of volitional core modules we can pick and select from. And then we were more further with personalization. We have our international music student festival at our school, and there was some money lacking out from our producing team. So as teachers and as students, we had to produce the whole festival without extensive money from supporters and so on. So we had 3 different kind of things how to put the festival on. And our former education coordinator Marta Smith, musicologist herself, also had a 3 division idea. What are the different profiles of the students we have? Artists, and then instrumentalists, and the people who make their music for themselves or some other people. So that was a next step of personalization. Marta went to the extension studies in Philadelphia University and Helsinki, and I took last March the charge of the job. It was really, you know, it's March and new law begins here, so yeah, 70 days time before the board hits the hammer on the table, and that's, so it was really harsh, that timetable there. We have a lot of backgrounds because it's step 6 already going on here. Yeah, and at the morning shower, Sunday 22nd, I got an idea. Yes? You know, stream goes and water, and then you got the idea. I think it was some dough, that shampoo, dough, mental growth dough. Yeah, I used that. But sometimes when you have a creative idea, you can have it everywhere, and that was at the morning shower. Yeah, I saw so clearly whole idea in 1 second. Yeah, so the value-based curriculum. So the idea here is we have 6 periods. It follows something, concerts, festivals, and we have 4 long periods and 2 short periods. And this is short one, 2.5 week orientation period. We have like a community down there, but the first longer period is 8 weeks of ensemble period. So they can really select what they play. Not any obligatory music styles. Play for 8 weeks or 7 weeks, practice for 7 weeks, and then we have a festival. So our first value is down there, student-oriented approach. They can really select what they want. Now, this Friday, we have the last day of our second creative period. Luovuus, oho, creativity, good. That's finished, you know. Yeah, yeah. So now we have those professional orientations, artist, instrumentalist music making going on, and some Christmas pause, and then at the next season on the job learning, we make our International Student Festival, and we have 3 production fields, how we divide them. And after that, we have 9 weeks of material preparation period. All the projects we have within during the year, we are going to finish them. And then in the ending evaluation period. So now the guideline of all these periods, they are tied together with the value student-oriented approach, creativity, mental growth, and communality. Yeah. Yeah, and 3 options for every period, and this is our new innovation also, that we have not any obligatory courses, 0 obligatory. Everything is planned from the students' needs and interests. And this is how it looks like. Okay? Beginning for upper comprehensive school graduates, so youngsters, 16 years old. That's like preparation years. So they will have some common, like the languages and maths and so on, CDM. And then we have upper line is their band, and they go right in the creative period, led by working period. They have a tour in youth houses and so on. So it's really the value is the guideline which the whole teaching system follows. And as you see, the years are almost the same. Beginning, of course, the first line joins down here to this. So that's fun for youngsters at upper row. But high school graduates begin here, and they can play dance music whole study if they want. But if they want to shift for other musical style, second year, it's possible.
I'm sorry, can I ask something?
Yeah, of course.
Could you please explain the division of your students into a music maker, instrumentalist, and artist? I mean, why can't one be all 3 at the same time?
Yeah.
So why can't instrumentalist be a music maker and artist at the same time? Or, you know, how do you divide them?
Yeah, we have put the basic courses of every one of these on the timetable, so they can also select the first level, like a basis of the music making, basis of the instrumental skills, and basis of the artist. So our schedule is like that. They can also study some subjects from all those different orientations. But they can also, if they want just music making, they can just...
So like studio skills for a music maker or something like this, production studio skills?
I don't understand either what the difference is between a music maker and an artist or an instrumentalist. Isn't an artist an instrumentalist and a music maker? Aren't they all the same thing?
Musician?
No, no.
Is music making production?
So, songwriting, composing, yes, melody writing, instrumentalist.
So if you make music, you cannot be artist?
Yes, you can, yeah. But you can focus, for instance, this year instrumentalist, and then next year.
There isn't an instrumentalist. I don't understand. Isn't an instrumentalist an artist?
Yes, it is. But artists, they have like on-stage improvisation, camera performing kind of studies. So they are really focusing on the artistic skills, not just like a background choir singing band.
Maybe it's a question of vocabulary.
Yes,
I
it
still don't
must be,
understand.
because this is really simple and clear. This.
I don't understand it. It's confusing to me.
Oh,
Well, artist could also be maybe called performer.
Yes.
But instrumentalist
It is
is
a
a
perform
performer.
also.
Is artist like the star of the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
The focal point.
Yeah.
Instrumentalist is a competent musician who can
Background
play any
musician.
instrument,
Okay,
and
so
music
it's a
maker is a
question of
composer.
Yes.
So as I believe, if I get this correctly, these are sort of general focuses. If someone wants to study or focus on sort of being a star
Yes.
kind of
Exactly.
skills, he can do that,
Yeah.
basically. But
X
if
factor.
he or she wants to,
Yeah. Exactly.
can,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway, you can go through all of these.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's just a language question.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. That's a from Finnish to English, you know. So.
It's in English up there.
Huh?
It's in English there.
Yeah.
Isn't
But
it
maybe-
better feeling that
Yeah.
it's in English there than in the Finnish?
Star composer background musician.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That all come with one washing your hair. This all.
Yeah.
So we can.
No, it was
Yeah.
Martha Smith. So you can blame her. Yeah. But you got the idea. So we have 3 different choices and like blocks of how to what to choose. And we have different things going on the year. And of course, instrument lessons and some theory lessons, they go all the time. And maybe when here we begin songwriting, it will be continue as a smaller volume to the end of the year. Tapio.
Maybe a helping thing would be that you can be all 3 at the same time, but a student should not concentrate on everything at the same time. You have to be able to choose for an 8-week period. Now I'll concentrate on this thing and this thing only, and maybe have a little side dish with from the other approach.
That makes sense.
And then again, after 8 weeks, you choose again. And maybe make a 2-year plan where you know that I do all these things in due time.
And this idea came from a law also. They have rights to study module by module, and then we have some kind of focus and their own interests, and then we are helping as a school to teach them.
It's just a language problem, that's all.
Okay, yes. Let's go. And how we did it? The platform is totally open also for students, Google Drive. We did everything, the whole development here. It wasn't on the secret cabins or secret book. So everything was open. It's transparent, real time, fast, commonality, and €0. Good. Yeah. And values, we try to also make this whole project following as values. So students also take part into that, and personalization is a key word of this curriculum. Creativity, so it was a synthesis of 6 different materials, this whole system. Mental growth, so our system is not perfect. We can improve our study plan by qualification systems and so on, like in the business too. And commonality, everyone did that thing together. And let's go faster to the 9th and the last step. What happened? About 8 weeks in advance, everyone has to rethink things over. teachers of different age and different pedagogical background have more or less challenges with this new thinking system, where we go student front and teachers back. Of course, there is some kind of resistance, contrarian and spar. So, like in boxing, you have the spar. Yeah, we need that. Somebody is challenging us to improve it better. But the biggest thing here now, because the teachers and of the students planned this, so everyone really are with it, who made it. And we don't have to teach them because they did it themselves. Yeah. And now we have a vocational pop and jazz contemporary 2.1. Short picture now. Here, benchmarking, failed. It's nice to fail. It felt bad, but it's good that we failed. Value-based pedagogical strategy, values, personalization. Tapio's idea, a student at home, what should I do? Division in 3 orientations. Do, Sabergel. Yeah. And we did it together. And board wrote it. Yes, that's the scheme. So 1.5 years it took. Not so much. Whole thing. 1 year and 3 months, something like that. Whole thing.
And actually, we're starting all over again. And now this year we're now at step 2.
Yeah. That's a qualification.
We learn from the mistakes.
Yeah, and next year will be better. And for the ending, this is my little presentation to do list of my life. First, go to market, supermarket, and buy some dough. Yeah, most muscular kind of. Okay? Do some utopia. Yeah. Do some dreaming. Yeah, copy from the others. Yeah. Copy from different boxes, from Walivia, from different kind of thing. Reading. Yeah. Just absorb everything, even bad things, but don't use them back, because they can be like a how to tease a people, so you can really got some ideas for the better use also there. Yeah. Practice creative processes, so buy dough and buy also different samples. Yeah. And then when you find something and share it right, don't hide it to yourself. Share and do it together, because then you can really absorb also other people to your team and then go further. And when you have innovators around you, then we go. Yeah. Anything to ask? Yeah. That's it. Way to go.
I've got one small comment, which really relates backwards, because I think it's very, very interesting, as one of the old guys, the Tim's neatly kind of categorised, to see this shift and this change, having been through a very formalised education. And we're sort of dealing with this at Leeds Beckett at the moment, and it's been very interesting because Sue's joined us this year, and she washes much more than I do, and obviously we all wash much more than you. It took you 18 months to think about this.
I only wash my hair once a week, I'm going to have to do it more.
Yeah, but you did it before you came, so you were on as well. But it's really, really interesting how that shift and how it's unsettled the whole kind of thing. But at the same time, you think it's a good idea. What I'm kind of wondering now is the next generation of teachers and things, what they will provide And the other thing that's just gone through my head is, in the goal setting, I wonder how many of the students in their plan have a career goal, and how well the curriculum, you'll reflect on the curriculum to meet that career goal, given the nature of the music field today. Because last year you spoke about the world tour
Yeah.
and everything else, and I shared that with my students, and they loved it. And you didn't get a booking after it, but you know, it was, I know you're informed by that kind of outward, you know, thing, and the vocational part is very interesting.
I have a pointer to that. From the Ministry and the Government of Learning, who give the restrictions and goals, they have given us great things. One of those was the idea of lifelong learning skills, which taught us that at the same time they cut down resources, so we couldn't have the students for 3 years, we have to have them in 2 years. And we realized that in 2 years we can't make perfect musicians, professionals. It's not possible. But we have to learn them that the goal of your studies is not at the end of 2 semesters or 3 semesters for the younger ones. It's in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And now you have time to check it out, and we also ask them when and guide them towards making their own 5-year, 10-year, 15-year plans, and remembering that every now and then something happens. Luck comes in, or something else. And then you have to be able to adapt different pathways through life. Remembering that why did you start vocational music studies? Because you were enthusiastic about music. And that's the thing you have to keep in mind. And that's the most important thing I teach my students, my teachers. Don't ever bother or cause any difficulties for the burning fire of the music-loving youngster.
Very good.
On that fine note, we can now, I think, have a break so we can set up for the, am I allowed to do this now?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. Everybody else.